before we get going. Just want to bask for a moment in last hunt's pulls. Wonderful. Oops. Hoping I can get the chain started with just some Pokeballs, but if I have to use the Ultra Balls, whatever, I'll use them. Tackle, please. I'm not going to try and chain Gyarados, no thanks. If it's a shiny, I'll try catch it, of course, but chaining Gyarados does not sound appealing to me whatsoever. Come on, game. Didn't realize stuff was spawning all the way over here. That's kind of bad. I didn't feel like that one was going to get in the ring, but it did. Magikarp, though. So strong. Okay, chain's already broken. That's good. Maybe I should use Ultra Balls just to get... I have enough of them, technically, so... Wow, really? Alright, there's no way getting it out of that one. Tentacle. No, bad. Stop. Oops. I wish there was some way that you could be in the air and engage with an encounter on the ground at choice because you're in the air. That would make a lot of these hunting experiences way more convenient. Not all of them, but a ton of them. But that's okay. Asking for a little much there, I think. What? Why? If I didn't waste so many resources during these hunts too, this would be... there would be a lot less time involved, but... Hey Matt, what's up? Should put time zone in your pings. Oh, so you think I should add it to the go live notification as well? I always ever put it in my title, but you think that would help? I'd add that on there, sure. You know what, I'm just gonna back out before this guy ruins my chain. Yeah, I will do that for now on. Thank you for the suggestion. Oh, in Discord. Okay. Does it not? Oh, okay. I think I have it in there in like the headline in the actual server, but as far as it doesn't, that wouldn't pop up when the everyone message goes out. So, yeah, I'll definitely add that in from now on. It's just me being bad with the whole time zone thing again, but. East Coast, Best Coast, true. Very true. So I just wanted Magikarp. What is all this? What is this? Spawn an army of Tentacle, and I have to go scrimping for Magikarp. Starfield got a release date. Ah. 11/11. 11/11/11. Oh, 11/11/21. Yeah, that makes more sense. That's cool. That'll be interesting. November, huh? Oh, and thank you for sending me that link yesterday. That was really interesting, and it was surprising, but Devolver usually does interesting things like that. So, I guess it was off center, but not too surprising. I enjoyed it though. Yeah, no, it was a good time for sure. By the way, maybe you would know, maybe you wouldn't, but have you played Hades? Do you have any opinion on that game? Because I was considering getting that to play on stream. Too far game. You haven't played it, but you know lots of people who have. Okay. I got it recommended by a couple people when it first came out. It's pretty universally regarded as a good game. Yeah, yeah, and that's what I've been hearing, that everyone seems to like it a lot and that it's very good. But for me, it's other games came out around the same time where I was like, I'm hearing how good Hades is. If I get Hades, I'm probably I'm not gonna have enough time to play all of them. You know what I mean? So I didn't get it then, but I very well may get it to play on stream. As far as today, when I was thinking, I was like, well, yesterday was such a good shiny hunting day, I'll go at it again and see if I can get Magikarp today. And then, who knows, depending on how lucky we are, how long it takes, we'll probably move on, maybe play some Resident Evil 4, or something else. Maybe I'll go to finish Ganon getting into Elite Smash, but there are a lot of different things out there that I want to play, and a bunch of projects that I've started, but I want to keep mixing other things in, and Hades seemed like a good and interesting thing to mix in. I was also considering, I've played a lot of The Binding of Isaac, and thinking if I started a new file on that and played, if people would be interested, but the problem is I have it on the Switch, and I don't think that new DLC that came out on the PC available versions is on there, so I'd be playing an older version of the game than what exists currently. I guess I could always get it again on PC. I'm sure it's probably relatively cheap, and I think I might actually own the base version of it on PC, just not the DLC, so those were two things that I considered. I like The Binding of Isaac a lot. I'm probably bad at it too, but I just enjoy it at its core so much. I love that original, like, the very first Legend of Zelda game kind of feel to it. And all the different, just the random modifiers that you can get and combinations you can get as you go down through the floors are interesting, although I will say there are a lot of times where I'll have like a long streak of just really bad runs where I don't get great items, the rooms are rough, and I make a lot of mistakes. And I've gone on really long losing streaks in that game, like 20s to 30s and sometimes, but then other times I'll have like really good runs, 3 or 4 runs in a row, and get stuff accomplished, unlock new stuff, and get to different places that I hadn't gotten before. So it's like, it's kind of an odd, it's an odd game, and once you get tilted in that game and you just start making mistakes, it's like the mistakes compound on each other. I'll do really well for a couple floors, and then I'll get hit like every room for consecutive rooms until I die, sometimes. And I've also played, what is it called? Enter the Gungeon. I have that on my Switch too, but that's a game that I feel like requires you to be... That's not the kind of game where I feel like I can be patient with. I feel like I need to constantly be, you know, moving, rolling, shooting, and I'm not patient enough about avoiding the incoming stuff. So I don't typically end up getting very far in Enter the Gungeon. And because of my lack of patience in that game, I feel like it wouldn't even really be fun to watch. Because it would just be me dying to the first boss or the second boss over and over again, depending on how far I get. Come on, Magikarp. Work with me here. I'm not made of ultra... My god, the throwing in mechanic in handheld mode is so much easier. Why did they make it so that you had to use the controllers for this? That's all I was trying to do. I'm gonna be excited when we get this shiny Magikarp, though. Whoa, what was that? That was weird. Sorry about that. No Lapras, please. Only tentacle. Come on, game. You act like I'm not... Like I don't have a existing chain of Magikarp right now. I think sometimes this game just likes to taunt me. Alright, that's it. Your brain is on information overload. What's going on? Oh, E3 on one screen, this on another, Mass Effect 2 on the TV. I forget, whose day is it today with E3? I should have had a... I have another... my setup is basically 2 monitors. I have a third monitor off to the side, but usually I just have something on like a TV or a show or YouTube on mute playing in the background, or a Twitch stream, excuse me, in the background, on a low volume. But Microsoft, okay. Ooh, Square Enix, nice. Does Bethesda doesn't have their own section now because they're part of Microsoft, right? Who? Bethesda, yeah. Gotta get 17 more of these, and then we can stop. Although technically I should just keep going to get to catch 100 of them, so I have the easier catch rate and get it in a Premier Ball, but honestly I'm not that worried about it. I prefer to get as many in Premier Balls as I can, but if it doesn't happen, I'm not severely worried about it, because even off of the berry that I can feed it, I can get it at least down to yellow, and yellow's not terrible. Yeah. Someday. Someday we'll have it. Wait, let's see. Skyrim came out in 2011, so I give it another 10 years. Another 10 years we'll have Elder Scrolls 6. And it'll be fully VR. You'll be able to smell the sweet rolls in person. It's going to be amazing. But that's just how that be sometimes. Tentacle, you had your chance. We have to Magikarp now. Just kidding, what am I saying? Of course you don't go to the Cloud District. You could go to that one, you could go to that one wall in, shoot, what's that town called? Windhelm? That one wall in... Do you know what I'm talking about? The one wall in Windhelm where if you smack it with a sword it bleeds for some reason? Yeah, there's this one spot in Skyrim where and it's so strange. There's just one particular wall, and it's near where the Jarl lives. That you hit it with a sword and it bleeds, and there's no reason for it. It's never referenced in the game. I think it's just a physics component that was accidentally applied to that wall, but it bleeds when you hit it, and it's strange. I'll have to look it up. See if I can find a link for it. It's super weird. Back to Cinnabar. Those walls were built with the bodies of Imperials. Yeah, and it's just that one spot. I don't know why. I figured it was just an accident, but you know, to be fair, knowing Skyrim, there is something more sinister going on there. I'll waste 10k on that, I guess. And then we can sell... Oops. Oh, and I wanted to test something out, and I'm sorry to ask this of you. I know you're multitasking, but are you able to copy that link and paste it again into the chat if I do this? I made some changes to the setting. Oops, I forgot to actually permit you. I just permitted nothing. Yeah, I permitted you. Yes! Success, it works. You didn't get attacked. Cool. Alright. The changes worked. I wish I could fly there. But no, I have to... well, I guess technically I can fly there, but not the way that I was trying to just now. So Lapras swimming around. Regular Magikarp. Guy seems pretty aggressive. Hey Bloodfire, how's it going? Hope you're doing well today. Oh, and that reminds me, we were just talking about Skyrim, Matt. I'm really hoping the character that they announced for Smash is the Dragonborn. I think that would make a sick addition, and they'd have a lot to work with as far as a moveset. Oh, you're at work. Well, thank you for being able to stop by at work. That's awesome of you. How's work going?
Call the neighbors. I want them to see this.
Oh, thank you so much, Bloodfire, for the host. That's very gracious of you. I appreciate it. Boo or Shy Guy? Okay. I guess I automatically assumed with the DLC after Piranha Plant they weren't going to do anything that was strictly Nintendo, but Boo or Shy Guy would be cool additions in my opinion. Work blows donkey butt. I'm sorry to hear that, but you said you do retail, right? Retail is hard. Knuckles or Tails, okay. That would be interesting. I mean, I'm sure they could come up with a decent moveset for either of them. Retail's a shit show. Yeah, I've worked in retail in the past, and it's hard. It can be quite draining. Knuckles or Tail? I wonder what they would do for a moveset. I mean, they totally could do either of them. But do they have... I don't know. I guess I have a hard time imagining what the moveset would be, considering what they did with Sonic was make his down B and his side B the same thing, even though they could have used a lot more different source material for it. And then his B is him spinning too, but it's the homing attack, so that one's excused because that's like a staple. You need all the bullshit remover. But yeah, that could be cool. I'd also be okay if they ended up doing Crash Bandicoot, although people have been saying, oh, it's gotta be him, or oh, it couldn't possibly be him for forever, so it's like I don't know what to think about it, but I'd be okay with him. I also think Spyro would be really cool, but I don't know that they would, Sony doesn't like to play ball as easily as Xbox or other. Sonic's moveset, can you permit me? Yeah, I got you. Oh, by the way, and Matt and to anybody else that's out there, if somebody's lurking, be sure to check out Bloodfire. Bloodfire's been playing some Call of Duty lately. Super cool, cool stream, and have a lot of fun watching him, watching Bloodfire take down some squads. So be sure to check it out. You should watch that sometime. Let's see. Okay, just watching the first 10 seconds of it, I'm excited to watch the rest of it. But considering it's a couple minutes long, I'll wait until I'm a little further along in this, but I'll definitely check that out. Yeah, that's right, you were playing all kinds of stuff over on your channel. I think the streams I've happened to catch were Call of Duty ones, but yeah, it's a lot of fun over there. Definitely check her out. Your Warzone ones are beasts. Yeah, they're a good time, and you seem like you play with solid people. Like you got a good team. You guys communicate. You guys strategize. I know sometimes it's hard playing that game when you have if you end up on a team where people aren't communicating or everyone's just off doing their own thing. You really have to make sure that you're paying attention, or you can get overwhelmed by another team that's coordinating pretty quickly. Just my stream friends. Most of us play Hunt Showdown together off stream. Ah, okay. I played a little bit of Hunt Showdown when, I guess it was in beta, or at least the Xbox beta, because that's the console I played it on. And it was fun. It was interesting. I felt like I was confused for a lot of it, because I guess I only played maybe 2 or 3 matches, but it definitely seemed interesting, and there's a whole lot of like teamwork and coordination that you can do, and different ways to, it seemed like there were different ways to win too. So, and I like games like that are like cooperative, that have PvP and PvE elements at the same time. It makes me really excited. I don't know if you guys ever played Left 4 Dead, but Back 4 Blood should be coming out sometime in the near future. Which is like the spiritual successor to the Left 4 Dead series, and I'm very excited to play that because I loved Left 4 Dead and Left 4 Dead 2. Played them so much on Xbox, on PC, wherever I could get a hold of it. But Hunt Showdown reminds me of Left 4 Dead a little bit, so that's why it popped to my mind. Yeah, the Left 4 Dead ones are very good. When you're playing, do you play on PC or do you play on Xbox? Because I found that the Xbox versions of Left 4 Dead 1 and 2, the connection typically was better when playing with other people. It wasn't laggy, your bullets always were going in the right direction, you weren't having random zombies just hitting you that you couldn't hit because it was glitchy or laggy. And I found that more on the PC version, but the PC version you also have access to all kinds of mods and different maps and stuff for free, so it's a little bit of give and take there. You play on PS4, your PC's coming soon. Okay. Pretty sure you can still get Left 4 Dead on PlayStation, so, and it should be relatively cheap by now. And honestly, I wouldn't even, at this point, I wouldn't bother getting the original Left 4 Dead, because Left 4 Dead 2 now includes the maps from Left 4 Dead 1 and the characters, so you might as well just get the second one if you're going to get either of them at all. Alright, we only need 2 more. The only other thing I would say is I don't know if Left 4 Dead has crossplay. So if you intend on playing with other people, they might have to be on the same platform as you. Because it's an older game. That game must have come out... Left 4 Dead 2 must have come out in, like... 2009 or 2010, I believe. Yeah, it must have been, like, 2010. You get a PC. Serious Sam 4 is top of the list. I think I played the Serious Sam 2? But it's been a long time. I can imagine the front cover of the box, but it's been a long time since I played the game. Played all but 4. Okay, nice. Nice. I remember 2 being an enjoyable experience, but it's been so long, I don't... To be honest, I really don't remember a ton about the game. It was one of those games where I got it, I sat down, I played through it, and then I never went back and replayed it or anything like that. Oh, and by the way, Bloodfire, thank you again for the host. I really appreciate it. And when when you hosted, did you guys see and hear the sound alert thing come up? Because I saw it physically come up, but I couldn't hear it on my end. I wanted to make sure you guys could hear it on your end. Or maybe the sound did go off, and I just didn't notice because I was multitasking. That's certainly possible. Alright, I used all of my Ultra Balls, so I should probably go get more just in case the shiny pops up. You don't remember any alert for the host? Okay. Okay. Because I saw it pop up on the screen, but I couldn't hear it. Or I wasn't paying close enough attention to hear it over the other sounds that were coming through. I'll have to look into it, I guess. Alright, I want to fly back. Why do I keep going here to fly? I'm too used to the other games. Yeah, you're upset by something, I'm sure. Alright. Okay. Now the real waiting game begins. Optimized our chances for shiny Magikarp, and now we just have to kick back and hope a lot of them spawn in. Tentacle, no. too much stuff spawn over here that it's not loading more things in. Oh, hi, Lapras. Forgot I don't need to be catching them anymore. Oh. This is not loading as many into the area as I would have wanted. Let me maybe pick a different spot. Let's try up here. This is where I found the shiny tentacle before. Let's also use our lure. That may have been why the other spot wasn't being as kind to us as I wanted. The only problem with this area is it doesn't have an easy, accessible loading zone. We just have to kind of sit here and wait for things to spawn, but there are a lot of spawns in this area, so it's really not too bad. We get stuff to spawn up here, we get stuff to spawn in the air, the water. It's a decent spot. The only negative is the lack of loading zone, and the visibility isn't perfect, but it doesn't require too much maneuverability to keep up with it. Oops. There we go. Now we got a spot with a lot of Magikarp. This is what I wanted. Guess maybe if I hang out over here, it'll keep stuff in the grass from spawning. I don't really need grass spawns. I mean, if a Tangela or a Chansey or whatever showed up shiny, I'd get it, but I really don't need any more Pidgeys or Pidgeotos, so... Weepin' Bell I'd also accept, assuredly. I think my Tangela made its way into Sword and Shield, the shiny one that I caught, and now it's a shiny Tangrowth. Come on, fishies, please. Hello, Pidgeot. Hello, Distant String. Thank you for dropping by the stream. How are you doing today? Good, what about you? I'm doing fine, I'm doing fine. We're hunting for our golden Magikarp today, and I have the, I've caught 40 of them in a row, so I got the chain all set up, and now we're just waiting for something sparkling to come popping out of the water, or the bushes, or drop out of the sky. We had a lot of luck with it yesterday, so I'm hoping to continue to ride that wave of luck, and at very least get us a golden Magikarp that we can potentially evolve into a red Gyarados if we want. Yes, I do have the shiny charm, and here I can pause it for a second to show you what we managed to pick up yesterday. I was hunting for shiny Vulpix yesterday. I'll have to excuse all of the Magikarp. During our hunt we ran into a shiny Pidgey, which we had to reset our chain for the Vulpix. We did finally end up getting the Vulpix, and then I was searching the hunting grounds, what would be a good spot to chain Magikarp, and while doing so, a random shiny Lapras showed up. So it was a really lucky and sick stream yesterday, and ended up being about 3 hours of hunting and 1 shiny per hour, so it's cool. And I do have the shiny charm, and I've got a whole bunch of other shinies that I've caught through this and other files that I have in here. You've been trying to shiny hunt Magikarp for days. Oh no. That's the thing about shiny hunts. It can be a long process, and it takes a lot of patience and luck. Did you, that was probably my 3rd or 4th stream where I was shiny hunting for Vulpix when I finally got it last stream, and I got a couple other shinies with it, so I understand. I probably put 10 hours into that hunt as a whole, specifically for the Vulpix, and came up empty-handed until that last stream. Have you run into any other shinies while you're looking for the Magikarp? You have, nice. Have you been just letting them go to keep your chain, or have you been catching them? Because so far, whenever one other one shows up, I try to catch it, even though it ruins the chain and it distracts from what we were doing to get a specific shiny. But shiny Gloom, okay. So you're playing in Let's Go Pikachu then. You've been catching them, okay. Yeah, that's been my philosophy too, although I'm getting to the point now where I've caught so many shiny Pidgey and shiny Caterpie that if one shows up, I'm almost tempted to ignore them. But so far I've still been catching them. I've run into a lot of additional shiny Pidgey, Caterpie, and Rattata, so I'm starting to get a little tired of seeing them. But I've still been catching them. It's always exciting, even if it's not one that, or it's one that you've gotten before. Oh, you've been hunting for Rattata? Honestly, if you're looking for a good spot for them, my best suggestion is just the route right outside of Pallet Town, because that you can get a decent number to spawn there with a lure, and that way there are fewer other things that can spawn in to be shiny otherwise. Because the first route should only be in Pikachu, should be Oddish, Rattata, Pidgey. I think that's it. So I don't think anything else can spawn in that first route. I might be wrong. Hello, Articuno. Just hanging out up here, bud? I'm not even gonna try to catch an Articuno unless it's shiny. It'll definitely break my chain. You're doing it on the route to the third gym. Route to the third gym. Oh, okay, so right above, okay, so right above the third town then. Ow. Okay, yeah, that's not a bad spot. I mean, there are other spawns, additional spawns there, but that's not necessarily a bad thing. It's really all about the approach. So that's still a good spot for it. I think I found on that route I found a shiny Psyduck, I think. And shiny Psyduck's really cool. Is that pure cerulean blue color. I always call him Ultra Instinct Psyduck, like that one form that Goku got in one of the more recent iterations. I think that's what it's called. I'm not familiar with Dragon Ball Z beyond GT, I think, was the last thing that I kept up with back in the day. That way you can get shiny Abra or Psyduck or Growlithe. Yeah, no, that's certainly reasonable. If you've got other stuff in that area that you want to, that you haven't gotten that you're okay with getting, then it makes a lot of sense. That's honestly why I was trying to do the Magikarp over in that other route, because it could end up being a shiny Gyarados or end up being something else shiny that I don't have, but there's still enough things that show up in this route that I'd catch. Oh, Matt, yeah, I did mention Dragon Ball Z. I was saying that shiny Psyduck in this game is like a blue, like a very light blue glowing color, and I always call it Ultra Instinct because it looks just like that form that Goku gets in one of the more recent iterations of Dragon Ball. But I'm only really familiar with Dragon Ball, the original series. I'm very familiar with the original series, and then I know Z up through GT is where I stopped. If there were any Pokemon to go Ultra Instinct, it would definitely be Psyduck. Very true. Here, in fact, I don't have one currently, because I moved one, I evolved one to Golduck and moved it over to Sword and Shield, and then the other one I traded for a different shiny from somebody else, but I still have it in the dex to show you. There he is. I nicknamed mine, my first one that I caught, Ultra Instinct. But then I evolved him, and the evolved form still has a cool shiny, but it's not nearly as cool as Psyduck. That's just so cool looking. Looks like it would taste like blue raspberry. Yeah, I don't know how I'd feel about meat and feathers tasting like blue raspberry. But I guess sweet and savory do go together, so... Come to think of it, are blue raspberries even a real thing? Or is that just an artificial flavor that humans came up with, and they're like, oh, it tastes like raspberry, but it's more, it tastes more blue. Like, what does that even actually mean? Psyduck pie. I wasn't hungry, but I'm starting to get that way now. What I'd really want are goldfish. I would like a goldfish, please, to pop out of the water. We catch these. We definitely catch these. I'd love another shiny tentacle. Having 3 of them, that's fine by me. Here, you're already green, but I'm gonna do that anyway. Sorry, Magikarp chain, but Tentacool decided to steal your thunder. Sweet. Okay. Back to catching Magikarp, I guess. Hopefully now I can catch, using the rest of my Ultra Balls and maybe a couple of regular ones, I can get enough Magikarp that the ring color gets reduced and I can just use Pokeballs from there on out. Oh, let me go to my box and favorite that before terrible things happen to it. What a handsome Tentacool. Alright. Change markings. Hey, Distant String, thank you for the follow, my friend. I appreciate the support. And welcome to the swamp. Did I really catch a Tentacool there? Why did I do that? Yeah, no problem. Yeah, thank you so much, man. It's awesome. Welcome aboard. Always happy to have a fellow shiny hunter. Guess I can start getting rid of these. Why did I catch a Tentacool here? Just out of whim. Weird. Oh, this first section must have been when I was just scouting the area to figure out where a good Magikarp spot would be, and then this one was where I caught the shiny Lapras and ended it. That must have been it. So let me get rid of all these Magikarp, exchange them for... Whoa. Exchange them for candy. Sorry, I could definitely be doing this off screen later, but I wanted to get the cash now for it while I'm going back anyway to get a couple more Ultra Balls since our chain is broken anyway. Sweet, so now I have 3 shiny Tentacool, so I can make one into a Tentacruel, and then potentially I have one to trade away to get something else I don't have on my list, or actually I could send that into my sword. Does Tentacruel in Sword and Shield? Maybe it's not. Or I could send it into Diamond and Pearl when that game comes out, if that's available. 3 minutes till Square Enix, nice. Alright, yeah, I guess let me go back. Hey, King J Plays, thank you for... Sorry. Thank you for the follow. I really appreciate it, man. Welcome aboard. You a shiny hunter as well? I wish they would add Crystal Onyx. That's what I was saying. I think I was I talking to Matt about this in one of my previous streams? I was talking to somebody about it. But I really wish that they had added Crystal Onyx in as the Dynamax or Gigantamax, the special form in Sword and Shield. It would have been really easy to do, to give him that regional form and do a callback to the manga / anime. But sadly they did not. Why did I do that? I did not need to do that. Dragonite, chill, please. Alright. You don't hunt them, but you still love getting them. Hey, there's nothing better than just, without even trying, having a random shiny show up on you. It's a great feeling. In fact, that's basically what just happened to me, considering I've been hunting for Magikarp and chaining them, and then a Tentacool, a random shiny Tentacool just showed up that we caught out of nowhere. Ash met so many shiny Pokemon without shiny charm. True, very true. I think, was the first one the Hoot Hoot / Ho-Oh, or Ho-Oh, goodness, Hoot Hoot / Noctowl that he got in the second generation? That's the one that I remember earliest anyway, but it's possible he ran into something before that. You moved a shiny Ivysaur and Dragonair from Go to Let's Go Pikachu. Nice, nice. I didn't play a lot of Pokemon Go. When it first came out, I tried, and the phone I had just couldn't handle it, and I didn't have any like Pokestops or stuff around me to really make it useful. So I didn't play much of it. The only shiny I ever got in that one was a Pikachu that I transferred into here and evolved into Raichu. But all my other shinies have been from older main series Pokemon games, Generation 2 and up, and Sword and Shield in this game. Although I think I've gotten the most shinies out of any of the games in this one in particular. Or as a series, Let's Go Eevee, Let's Go Pikachu, to be more specific. But that's awesome. Shiny Bulbasaur, Ivysaur, Venusaur are really cool looking, and I mean, Dragonair is sick, and Dragonite, that green, that dark green on Dragonite is extremely cool looking, so those are awesome shinies to have. I used the lure already, so yeah, I guess let's just go back up there. That seemed like a good spot. I've now found 3 shiny tentacle on this route in that location that we were just hunting up here. So it's clearly a good spot for them. But a decent number of Magikarp spawn up here too, so I think I'm going to keep going with it. In the recent series Pokemon Journeys, there was a shiny hunter. Cool. Cool, it's cool to see the, I don't know, I guess the manga really acknowledge it and put that kind of details into it on that side. I really wish I knew more about the Pokemon Journeys manga, because I'm kind of interested to see how things work in that sense. I have very limited working knowledge of that series, just little things here and there that I've seen. I think I've read like the first chapter or the first book that had several 5 to 6 chapters in it, however that worked, but oh, and while I'm thinking about it, let me do this. I do have a Twitter that I post game clips to, stream updates and highlights and other random junk on there if you're interested and you have a Twitter. And also I wanted to give you guys the link to the Discord. That way, hold up, why is my computer going nuts? There we go. There's a section on the Discord for like a shiny Pokemon showcase. So whenever anybody gets something interesting, they can always post it on there, and you can check out other people's encounters. You can put clips or pictures on there, it doesn't matter. But I need to update the link again because it's been long enough that it's been... the old one is invalid. So... there we go. If you have any interest in either of those, feel free to check them out. I also post on there when I'm going to be streaming. Yeah, there we go. Is there new episodes for Pokemon Journeys? That's a great question. I'm not sure. I also wouldn't know where to go to watch them, to be honest. I really love this game, but I want to play it with a Pro Controller so bad. Me too, man. Me too. The entirety of the time I played this game, so I think my file says that I've played, on this file in particular, for almost 180 hours. The first 150 hours of me playing, I wasn't streaming or doing anything like that, so I was always playing it in handheld mode. And it's so much easier to aim in the handheld mode, but once you put it on the dock, you're forced to use the Joy-Cons, and I'd never done that before, so I miss throwing with the Pokeball so much. And I totally understand you with the drift issue, because when I'm trying to move my character around, it's awful. I have awful drift on my Joy-Cons as well, so I'm totally with you there. Only Tentacle are showing up now. Sorry, I just want to bookmark something real quick so that I can Save that to watch later. Good. Yeah, there are definitely parts of this remake that I enjoy a lot. I think the catching mechanic being more like Pokemon Go style is interesting. I like it okay. But some of the things that they did I don't like. I don't like that they simplified the battle system so much that there aren't any abilities, there aren't any hold items. They decided they were going to keep all the types in the game, so steel types, dark types, and fairy types exist, but you're very limited on those options, other than, I guess fairy has the most options that they added in, considering many of the normal types got converted into fairy types later. But steel types, I mean, you can get Magnemite, you can import Meltan and Melmetal if you happen to have them from Pokemon Go. And then there's one I'm forgetting that's also part steel off the top of my head that I can't remember. Oh, Sandshrew and Sandslash, when you do their Alolan forms, they're part steel type. And then as far as dark types, you have Alolan Meowth / Persian, and you have the Alolan Grimer. Those are the only two options I can think of type-wise for that. There might be more, but I can't think of them at the moment. But then they have the evolutions. You can do the original evolutions, but you can't evolve them into the other forms, which is fine. I guess I can understand to get past that. But I like what they did to make the catching the Pokemon different, and being able to see the Pokemon in the overworld and see whether or not they're shiny in the overworld. I think that was good, but they simplified the battle mechanics a lot, that I didn't like. But at the same time, they made them more complex with the typing, and the fact that Mega Evolution is in this game, which I like Mega Evolution. I'm sad that it kind of got phased out in general. But they did some weird things. Overall, I like this game, but some of their choices leave me scratching my head, wondering why. Come on, game. I did the same thing. That was the same throw 4 times in a row, and on the 4th time it decided that it wanted to throw it the direction that I wanted, wasting all the Ultra Balls. But if I like this game for anything, it's definitely for the shiny hunting. I find shiny hunting most enjoyable in this version. Yeah. Yeah, I love Mega Evolution. I like being able to ride the Pokemon, like the flying ones, like my Dragonite and Tauros and Snorlax and stuff. That's cool. And I like that it included the future types, but I didn't like the unbalancing of adding those new types in, since most of the Pokemon that are Dark and Steel type didn't get added until later gens and aren't really included here. I wish they had done a little more to inject more of that type diversity into Gen 1. They did try. I mean, they exist, but their options are super limited. And I don't like the dumbed down battle mechanics if they were going to go through the effort to put those other types in, but it's still a very fun game. They put a lot of energy to it, and even if Game Freak decided, you know what, we're going to we're gonna do Let's Go Johto, I would still get it because I love second gen so much that I would still get that version of the game. I would much rather them just do a full remake of Heart Gold and Soul Silver, or make like a, I don't know, the third version, a remade version of Crystal specifically would be really cool. Do you have a favorite generation? Because I'm definitely a Gen 2 fan. Gold, Silver, Crystal, and then Pokemon Stadium 1 and 2 were probably my favorite. Although I don't think there's a generation that I dislike specifically. They've all been pretty good, but I think Gen 2 is my favorite, and I'm very biased to it on a nostalgia basis. And I think the one that I played the least, or I spent the least time... Yeah, I guess the one that I spent the least time playing was Gen 7 with the Sun and Moon series. It was very different, but not bad, just wasn't my taste, I guess. You like Gigantamax and Mega Evolution. Z moves have to be my least favorite. Yeah, I agree with you. As far as the mechanics that they've added in like that, Z moves are my... I don't particularly like them. I think they're okay, but I was kind of disappointed that they introduced Mega Evolution, and then the next generation, they just dropped it. They just basically phased it out. They left it in this game as a mechanic, but... I'd say Mega Evolution is my favorite mechanic that they've added so far, and I felt like, yes, for some Pokemon it was unbalanced and they didn't need it. Like the legendaries, Mewtwo didn't need two Mega Evolution possibilities. It didn't even need one. It was already stat-wise extremely powerful. Another example, Kyogre and Groudon really didn't need special forms that made them better. Rayquaza didn't need a Mega Evolution. The Latios and Latias didn't need Mega Evolutions. There were a lot of legendaries that got them that didn't need them. I was hoping to see them more for a lot of Pokemon that were on the weaker side and needed a little bit of a balancing option. Like, I'm talking like Mega Dunsparce or something, you know what I mean? To try to get obscure Pokemon like that into the mix, but... And I felt like it was balanced enough because if you were planning on Mega Evolving a Pokemon, you could only Mega Evolve one on the team, and their hold item slot was taken up by the stone, so they didn't have any other buffs from hold items because they were locked into using that Mega Evolution stone if they chose to Mega Evolve. Gigantamax and Z-Move, they really... Well, Dynamax and Z-Move, I should say. They really made it so, you know, any Pokemon can use it, which is fine. But specific ones just had better... like, there were specific stones for certain Pokemon to give them a boost of a certain kind. So, and the same thing with Dynamax, they had certain Pokemon... even within the species that were capable of a special form beyond just Dynamaxing with the Gigantamaxing, so... And Gigantamaxing, Dynamaxing is an interesting component that they added to the game as a new mechanic, but I'm hoping it doesn't last. I'm hoping that in the next main series Pokemon release that there is honestly I would say that I hope they go back to Mega Evolution, but I'm not expecting that to happen. After the way they kind of pushed it off to the side in Gen 7. I don't expect it to come back. But maybe instead they'll just introduce a brand new mechanic. Hey Kyle, good to see you. How are you doing, man? We're working on our Magikarp grind, and just a little while ago we found a shiny tentacle while we were looking for them, so we already got one for the day, which is not bad. What you up to? Hey Sheep, how's it going, buddy? Good things. What about you? I'm pumped, man. We've had back-to-back streams with good luck for shinies. So, Kyle, thank you so much for the follow, man. I appreciate it. Very kind of you. And welcome aboard. Trying to get your phone to load the stream. I hope I'm not having any issues on my end. If so, please certainly let me know if it seems like the stream's coming through good, but it doesn't look like I'm dropping too many frames, at least at the moment. Really hyped for Gen 4 remakes. Some people don't like the art style. As long as people don't like, you can't enjoy it, since I can't enjoy it. Yeah, I mean, I agree with people complaining about the art style to a point where it's like, okay, I understand that aesthetically it's not what you're looking for. That's fine. I can understand that complaint, but to me, to me, honestly, if they re-released Gen 4 on the Switch, looking exactly the way that it did in 2006, or maybe it was even before then that game came out, I would still be like, I mean, all right, it's not up to, you know, today's standard of graphical quality or impressiveness, but I'd still play it. So aesthetically it might not be what I'm looking for either, but that's okay. I'm not against it looking that way if that's the art style they're going to go with, as long as the game is still mechanically strong and it's still Pokemon. I'm going to enjoy it. Yeah, but I guess there are people out there that really, when things don't go the way that they imagine, or they look at it as a, I don't know, they look at it as something of their childhood, or they have a lot of association with being ripped away from them, expectation-wise. People get very, very defensive. And they're like, oh no, it's bad. You shouldn't like it because it's bad. But what you gonna do? People are like that sometimes. Also, why am I just staring at the Magikarp? I need to get this chain going. Oh, and I didn't even think about it. Sheep Herder here is a fellow streamer. He does a lot of Apex. He and my boy Dalton are awesome at it. They're playing on there all the time and grinding it out, taking out squads. So be sure to check him out if you have any interest in that. He's a real cool dude and has a really solid stream. You'll find me lurking around there pretty often as well. If I spelled that right. Yes, there it is. Yeah, be sure to give him a follow, check him out. He's real cool. Got an awesome stream and an awesome mustache. Got a sick mustache. Hey Sheep, sorry to hear that, but I understand. Mine was all over the place the other day. After I did a Mario Party 3 stream, I'm trying to go through and play every map against the AIs on hard, see if I can win. I managed to win. It was a cool stream, but when I went to switch from playing on N64 to Switch slash Xbox One, I had to change my FPS to 30, from 30 up to 60 so that it wouldn't be choppy. And when I did that, I had to disconnect the stream, and when I reconnected the stream, my internet just went haywire. I was dropping frames like crazy. I was losing like 75% of my frames, and I could not get it to calm down. And I was like, all right, well, I planned to do more stuff tonight, but I guess I'll have to stop because my internet, like, I couldn't load stuff on a web browser. Both my upload and my download speed were fried. I don't know what was happening. So the internet can be quite fickle sometimes. Magikarp, please. Don't do this. Been working on this chain for a while. Don't break this right now. Although it looks like I have to go get more Ultra Balls because I can't throw in a straight line. Come on. Okay, you're not ruining my chain. Not a chance. Not a chance. Let's go back. That was weird. Why did I feel like... I must have heard two Pokemon spawn in at the same time that their cries overlapped, because I was like, what is that? What is that sound? Should have waited till I came back out to use the lure, but that's okay. Really hyped for Pokemon Legends. Oh, yeah, the Arceus game. I'm excited to see what that's like. Keep walking into the Pokemon Center, but I haven't battled in a long time. Yeah, I'm excited to see what Arceus is like. I have to be honest, I haven't, other than I think I saw one or two trailers. I've been trying to avoid a lot about it to try to, I don't know, just be surprised and have kind of a fresh perspective of it when the game comes out. But as a whole, I am very excited to see what they do with it, and I'm excited and anxious for it, because a lot of Pokemon like side games and spin-offs, there are some that are amazing, really well done, and other ones that kind of fell flat for me. If they do it like they did with Coliseum and XD Gale of Darkness, I feel like it's going to be an amazing game. And I'm not saying like they do it in the same style, but they make it as good as those games and put the love and effort into it that they did in those other side games, then it's bound to be fantastic. I love the starters, and Legends going to be a hard choice. Yeah, yeah, they did a good job on that, because there are really no wrong answers. I feel like I like Rowlet so much that I'll probably end up picking it, but I don't know, they're all good choices. Oh, I wanted to sell, that's what I wanted to do. I know I've got candy to get rid of. Not as much as I thought I was going to have, though. Oh, there's Magikarp candies down at the bottom. Yeah, we'll get rid of this. That's fine. Oh yeah, now that's right, because the original typically in the original character model, he kept the flames tucked in. Yeah, for me, Gen 1 and Gen 2 starters, I kind of like all of them a lot, though as far as me picking them, I would usually take Totodile, but I've definitely done many playthroughs with each one of the starters, and I like all three of them a lot, even though poor Meganium suffers greatly in Gen 2. Chikorita, Bayleaf, Meganium. I like Bayleaf as the second form of the three, the best. But then Typhlosion and Totodile for me are pretty tied all the way through their forms. Yeah, I think a lot of people were surprised that Charmander didn't get put in there, but it always gets Charmander and Charizard always get a ton of attention, so it was refreshing to see a different representative there. So one thing I typically ask is, or I try to ask if I think about it, is what would you say your favorite Pokemon type or types are? I'm a big Poison type fan. My favorite three are Poison, Steel, and Flying. So whenever I'm building a team, you're gonna see all three of those represented on there usually. It's because I like them so much. Kyle likes ghost types. Nice. Nice, ghosts are cool. In Gen 5, I can't remember if it was on my black or my white game, but on one of those I did a whole ghost type team because there was so much dual type ghost diversity in that game. And then I like ghost types a lot too, but they don't make the top 3 for me. Grass or ghost, okay, okay. Well, interesting, so I guess then Rowlet is like the perfect pick for you. Yeah, Rowlet's your favorite starter, there we go. I like Rowlet a lot. It's definitely my favorite of that generation. I picked Rowlet in Moon when I got it, and then I got Ultra Sun, and I decided that since I picked Rowlet in the last one, I would pick the Incineroar line this time. But that's another generation where all 3 of the starters are pretty good. I mean, Incineroar is good. The thing that Popplio evolves into it, Primarina. It's also good, water fairy type, and then Rowlet being grass ghost is cool in the end, so. Yeah, Gen 7 was weird for me because I liked a lot of the Pokemon that they added in Gen 7, but I just wasn't a huge fan of how the Pokemon League was differently set up and the how Z moves in general worked, but it was still a fun game and it was different, just not my style. Yeah, I don't know if you've seen or played Pokken, but I have Pokken I had it on Wii U and I have it on my Switch, and Decidueye is a playable fighter in Pokken, and I love using him in that game. Super cool. Honestly, they did a good job making all the fighters like cool and fun to play in that game. But I'm terrible at Pokken. Garbage at it. I think I can only beat the medium I can beat the medium computers readily, and I can beat the hard ones like 50-50, but when the difficulty surpasses that, I can't do it. I can't keep up. What legendary or mythical Pokemon do you prefer? That's a good question. There are, I guess as a whole for the legendaries, there are really only a handful of them that I like a lot. I like Rayquaza a lot. I thought Darkrai was pretty cool. I'm trying to think. I liked Victini a lot. Ooh, Lugia or Ho-Oh, that's a great question. As far as which one do I like the design more of, I like Ho-Oh's design more, but I think if I were to put one on a team, I'd be using Lugia unless the Ho-Oh happens to have Regenerator. But as far as use on a team and design, I like Ho-Oh more, even though the second Pokemon movie made me like Lugia a lot. Also, I felt that getting Ho-Oh was a lot easier in 2nd gen than getting Lugia, just because the whole Whirlpool thing was kind of a pain. I know Decidueye was supposed to be in Smash Brothers, but Incineroar got replaced instead. Interesting. I didn't know that. I knew that they were adding a 7th gen rep into the game, but I didn't realize that Decidueye was supposed to be that rep initially. I think another reason I like Ho-Oh a lot too is because of him showing up in the very first episode of the anime that has Ash in it. Those are good questions, Kyle. You asked a difficult question. Also, I feel like when I'm making teams for Pokemon battles, I used to like making teams that are based around Rain Dance. So oftentimes I would have a Zapdos on my Rain Dance team. Although my favorite legendary bird of the trio is Articuno. Again, I don't know why I'm just sitting around watching the Magikarp like I have a full chain. I need to actually be catching them. Come on, game. Oh, and Kyle, I'm sorry, I can't remember if I thanked you for the follow, but thank you for the follow. I appreciate it, buddy. Oh, and I've been doing a playthrough of Pokemon Yellow. It's been on hiatus for a little bit because I've been trying to train up some of those Pokemon that I caught to use in Pokemon Stadium on my N64. But everybody that follows as I'm going through the game is going to get named after the Pokemon that I'm... They're not going to get named after. The Pokemon that I'm catching for the Pokedex are going to get named after followers. That's the right way to put it. So be sure to check in when I'm doing that next Yellow stream to see what what Pokemon gets your name. And I do plan on continuing that playthrough shortly now that I've gotten most of the training done. So there will be a Pokemon Yellow / Pokemon Stadium stream in the near future. Be sure to check in and see what Pokemon you've become. I'm doing a bunch of different... There's a bunch of different playthroughs of different games that I've started, and I need to start kind of going back to the ones that I've started to finish them instead of continuing to do new projects. Yeah, today's been a big day. I'm actually 1 follower away from 50 now. Where... I'll use a Great Ball. Just use the rest of these up. Or I'll just throw them into the abyss. That's fine. Not a big fan of Gen 5 starters. Favorite from that gen is Oshawott. Okay. I ended up picking Snivy my first time. But they were all just kind of to me. I was like, okay, Emboar, another firefighting. It's not like we haven't done that for 2 generations in a row already before this, but okay. Oshawott becoming Samurott was cool. And then I liked the Snivy into Superior, but Snivy and Superior is just outclassed by other things so much. Unless it's got... I think it's the hidden ability you can get for it that's Contrary. So you could do Contrary Leaf Storm and get free special attack boosts from that setup, but in general, Superior just gets dunked on by other things, sadly. Ooh, I've never seen a Victory Bell spawn there. That's cool. You know, that makes me wonder if... I'm curious now, if a Victory Bell can spawn there, which I never realized it could, can a Poliwrath spawn in? Because I've seen Poliwag and Poliwhirl, but I've never seen a Poliwrath actually spawn in this game. I wonder if that's possible now. If I go to that spot on Victory Road. I think Poliwag technically also spawn in Cerulean Cave, but I'd be incredibly surprised if a Poliwrath could even spawn in there. But maybe in Victory Road, I'll have to look into that. Oh, and if somebody clipped something, thank you, I appreciate that. I just noticed that there's a notification that something was done, so thank you, I appreciate that. Maybe it was when I caught that shiny tentacle, perhaps. Come on, Tentacruel. Here we go, here's some carp. Yeah, I thought the Alolan forms were a good addition and good for balancing purposes with the with having Darksteel and Fairy in the game. Because one of the biggest problems with Gen 1 was how powerful Psychic types were, and the fact that they were able to mix in, sprinkle in some Dark types with the Alolan forms was good. Not that, because of the dumbed down battle mechanics and how everybody gets experience so easily by catching and through battles and stuff. I mean, most of the fights in this game are a joke anyway. Because your Pokemon, if you've been actually trying to play the game at all, are going to be over-leveled or pumped up with candy to the point that they can handle pretty much anything. Yeah, Alolan Muck is super cool, being poison and dark. Yeah, and other than Alolan Grimer and Muck, and then Alolan Persian and Meowth, I can't think of any other dark types. But then you've got cool stuff like Alolan Raichu, Alolan, what is it called? Like Alolan Geodude through Golem, Alolan Marowak with the ghost type. And then you've got Alolan Vulpix and Ninetales with the Ice Fairy. There's a bunch of cool stuff that they've done. It would have been cool if this game ran compatibility for the Galarian forms that exist too, like Galarian Weezing, Galarian Meowth. But I understand why it wouldn't work, because those games are released so far after this one coming out. And some of the stuff wouldn't work right. Like Galarian and Meowth evolves into Berserker or whatever, and that couldn't exist in this. Galarian Weezing would probably work okay. Galarian Ponyta they could have done. There was some stuff and things that could have been added, but... Oh, that's right. Alolan Rattata and Raticate. Yeah, I thought there was something else that I was forgetting. Hey, Child of Ragnarok, what's up, buddy? Good to see you. We're working on our shiny Magikarp today. So far, we managed to run into a shiny Tentacool, and we caught that, but no golden fish as of yet. You don't like Galarian Ponyta? I ran a Galarian Rapidash on my team in Sword, and it was awesome because for some reason the AI doesn't expect when you have a Galarian Rapidash out that you're going to use Mega Horn, which is a bug type move, and it seems to work really well for some reason. So, but I liked it. I thought the design was interesting as a choice. I'm like, oh, okay, you know, it's a unicorn fairy type. That adds up. I can live with that. But I think I probably like the Cantonian Rapidash more, especially its shiny form, because shiny Ponyta is sick in its Cantonian form. Where is he? There he is. Square Enix Showcase was so bad. Oh no. That's disappointing to hear. Was it bad enough that you think they've released their Final Fantasy? Yeah, Cantonian Ponyta is just... Mwah, beautiful. And I don't think you can ride the Cantonian Ponyta in this game, but I think you can do the Rapidash, or the shiny Ponyta. I think it just runs around behind you, but the shiny one of the Rapidash you can ride, and that's cool looking. They had exactly 3 seconds of Final Fantasy 16, 25 minutes of Marvel games, 7 minutes of mobile games. Yeah, I felt like that probably could have just been an email. I don't think you should have gone on stage to do that. That's rough. Also, I don't know why I'm still chaining Magikarp. What was your first shiny in Let's Go? First shiny in Let's Go was a shiny Pidgey. And I still have him. He's a Pidgeot now. And I used him I used him in the Elite Four because it was after basically my playthrough was over, and I found him while I was trying to get a shiny Venonat. I was trying to chain Venonat. He showed up randomly on the route outside of Fuchsia City, and we caught him. And I named him Ho-Oh because shiny Pidgeot, when you Mega Evolve it, has like the rainbow colors basically. Where are you at? Yeah, here you are. Here's Ho-Oh. Ta-da! Had 8 minutes of Life is Strange. Okay, well that's something. I watched my roommate play Life is Strange for a little bit, and it seemed interesting. So maybe that'll be something to look forward to. The only thing I liked was the one Ubisoft presentation was Mario plus Rabbids. Mario and Rabbids was an amazing game. They really did a great job with it, and Grant Kirkhope did the music parts for it, and was involved with a lot of it. And Grant Kirkhope is an amazing composer. He did Banjo-Kazooie's music, which is one of the favorite games of my childhood. What was I looking at? Oh, your first one was a Weedle? Nice. Nice. Got me some Weedle over the course of time. Why am I still looking through this? Oh, I wanted to show the shiny Pidgeot Mega form, because it's really cool, and the reason that I named it Ho-Oh. Yeah, check it out. It is pretty cool looking. Although I guess technically with the blue on the wing and tail tips, it kind of looks more like a Braviary, but did we finally catch 100 so that the ring is green on Pokeballs? Yeah, I was concerned, Jay. I was concerned when they first announced that they were doing a Mario and Rabbids thing, but they did an amazing job with it. It's a fantastic game. It was a very good blending of both worlds. They did a fantastic job with it, and I had a lot of fun playing that game. In fact, I recently started replaying it. It's a ton of fun. And I'll say that on top of the fact that that style of game isn't really my thing. Like I don't go into I don't particularly look for that style of game and gameplay and think, oh yeah, you know, this is it for me. I want to spend a lot of time playing this. But I was able to get into it so easily, build on the formula, and there's a lot of challenges and stuff in that game. So, oh, and I'm so bad about that. I totally forgot to shout out my guy, Child of Ragnarok here. He's an amazing Banjo-Kazooie speedrunner. Recently playing some Twilight Princess, nice, which is awesome. That's another great game. He's a really funny and chill dude. You should definitely check out his stream. I have a lot of fun over there, and that's another spot where you'll find me hanging out a lot. Raymond Rabbids for Wii was so fun. I assume you meant Raving Rabbids, and I remember playing one of those games. I had one of those games on the Wii, and I had not little. I had younger cousins that I played it with, and they had a blast playing it, and it was fun. It was a good time, and I have a childish sense of humor, so I enjoy some of the random BS that the Rabbids do. Sometimes it's excessive to the point where I'm like, okay, this is just being obnoxious now, but I do get a kick out of it here and there. And of course, buddy, of course, you're welcome for the shout out. Happy to support you any way I can, because you got some great content going over there, and I want people to know about it. I feel like I'd be doing them a disservice to not let them know about it. Alright, I guess since I ran out of Ultra Balls again, I should go back just in case a shiny appears that is not a Magikarp. Just do a brief scan, make sure nobody is shiny and hiding in the corners, or something like that. I don't think I have enough. Oh, I do have enough. Not enough to make my money back, but something. Oops, too much. Too much. There we go. Also, I am taking suggestions as far as targets to shiny hunt for in the future. I'm trying to focus on anything that has a really cool shiny form. Currently, I mean, after Magikarp, I have Shelder on my list, which, gotta be honest, I'm not excited about, because the spawn areas for Shelder in this game are crap as far as shiny hunting goes. So that's the only other thing I have on my list currently. Porygon. Porygon does have a cool shiny form. It'd be kind of a pain to chain them, but that's the same area that I was in for chaining Vulpix, so I would definitely put that on my list for the future. I've actually had a shiny Porygon in the past, and I was able to make it into a Porygon Z. I have no idea what file that lives on now, but he's out there somewhere. And Porygon is cool. I would definitely enjoy having one, so I guess I will add that to the list. Although honestly, Porygon might be even more challenging than Shelder. Hello. It's not a Magikarp, but it will do. Okay, so let me think about this tactically. I can bring in an assistant to help me catch, right? So I'm going to do that. And then... Alright, let me think about this very tactically, because I don't want to mess this up. I don't want this Staryu to get away from us. Call in an assistant. Can I call in an assistant? Why doesn't that work ever when I try? I'm actually going to look this up, because I don't want to mess up this encounter. When you see a green icon on the bottom of the screen, have the second player shake their Joy-Con. Okay. Okay, I guess I can't. I'm just gonna go for it. Do you want to give up? No, I do not want to give up. I want to use my golden raspberry first. And then I want to use an ultra ball. It has a quite high catch rate. Okay, well then this shouldn't be too bad. It'll be an ultra ball instead of a premier ball, but it's not the one I was chaining for, but I'll take it. Sweet. Oh, shiny star you. That's cool, because shiny star me is also very cool looking. Look at that. Fantastic. And of course, it's not the Pokemon I was chaining for to have the higher rate of being shiny. It's just another random one. But we take those. That was cool. Honestly, I don't even know what to do now. Let me, I guess let me go back just so I can get, oh, I know what I'll do. Since our chain is broken, let me go in here and save our boy. Favorite him. Love Shiny Krabby. Shiny Krabby would be very cool, especially because I'd been wanting to get that special Gigantamax form Kingler that exists in Sword and Shield, and the shiny form of it would be super cool. So I think I'm going to add Krabby to the list. So let's see, now we still have to do Magikarp. We have to finish Magikarp, but we have Shelder, Porygon, and Krabby. Okay. Okay. That's good for a list for the future for now. I was also considering shiny hunting for one of the Pokemon that you can get Alolan forms for in this game, and then doing the in-game trading a whole bunch of times to see if I could get a shiny Alolan form randomly from the in-game trades. Because honestly, out of all of the, I think a shiny Alolan Muck / Grimer would look really cool, and shiny Alolan Raichu would be very cool as well. Since our catch combo has been destroyed anyway, we can go scout some of those locations. I already know where I'm going to do for Porygon because we were there searching for Vulpix for forever. And oh, another one that I wanted to do for my list was Geodude. Currently I have a shiny Golem, I have a shiny Graveler, but I don't have a shiny Geodude. I mean, I did at one point. That's how I got to the Golem, but let me actually fly to where I want to go. So Porygon, I know where I need to be for that. Krabby, there's 2 spots where I could do Krabby / Kingler. We can check those out in just a little bit here. And then Geodude was another one. And then there are a couple old shiny hunts that I never that never came to fruition. I searched for Clefairy for a very, very long time. I caught so many Clefairy trying to get a shiny one that I never did, and Diglett was another one that I searched high and low for a long time and never got one, so those will be ones to add to the list. I searched for Voltorb in the past, too, but I didn't hunt that guy for nearly as long, because the power plant kinda sucks. But that would be one I'd be willing to go for in the future, too. Get our free Pokeballs from this guy. There's a long way to go just for some free Pokeballs, but... Hello, Cubone. Watch up. Okay, so now we can go... to one of the Krabby / Kingler spots. It's crazy to me how most of the shinies I find are random ones and not the ones that I've established a chain to lower the odds for. But that's RNG for you. Okay, so these are the areas where I've found Krabby in the past. Yeah, there's one. And with the lure active and no active chain, Shiny Ditto would have been worth it if it transformed into the shiny versions. Yeah, Shiny Ditto is a cool one, and it would have been cool if it worked that way, but I guess when I think about it, though, it's supposed to be copying what it sees, so if the opposing Pokemon was shiny, it should copy to be the shiny, not it itself being shiny should change into the shiny version of the other, but it still would have been cool to see. Oh, I forgot Farfetch'd shows up here, but I'm fairly certain its shiny form is boring, so I don't think I'd ever hunt for that. I think the Galarian one in Surfetch'd, because Surfetch'd is all gold, is cool looking, but I'm fairly certain that standard Farfetch'd is a boring shiny. Okay, only one or two Krabby would spawn up there. Okay, there's more down here, though. This might be the better spot. Okay, we got 3 Farfetch'd there. That's kind of a lot. But, alright, so this patch might be good for doing Krabby. And then... what else were we looking at? Porygon about... Voltorb. I kind of already know what I need to do for Voltorb. It's just go to that front room in the power plant and keep refreshing the loading zone in the doorway. But I mean, I'm pretty sure you can still use Transform. It's just neither of you are going to be able to do anything until you struggle. I'm pretty sure that's how that matchup works out, although I don't think I've ever tested it myself. Alright, there's one other thing I want to do before I potentially continue chaining for Magikarp. I want to go... poke you in the face, which makes you happy for some reason. And... I want to go in Cerulean Cave to pick up the stuff that spawns in there. But before I go in, I always like to load the spawns up here. just to see if something interesting will show up. I've gotten a shiny Psyduck up here before. And I think that's it, actually. It's the only thing that's ever spawned up here shiny for me. But never hurts to check. You never know when the numbers are going to roll the way that they need to. Normally stuff spawns in the area right here. Oh, okay. There's a Golduck. There's a Golbat. Now we're talking. Okay, yeah, there's a Poliwhirl. I'm curious if Poliwrath do actually spawn. Now that I saw that victory bell. Hi, Zubat. This is the notorious room where I found a shiny Graveler, and as I tried to walk over to the shiny Graveler, I accidentally clipped the staircase there and went straight down the floor and despawned it, and I was very sad. Very, very sad. That was back when I was chaining Zubat to get a green Zubat. Well, if I have to get a berry, Golden Raspberry is a pretty good one to get. Golden Pineapple Berry. Great Ball. On one of these spots I found 30 Ultra Balls one time, I think. Or maybe it was 30 Pokeballs, but I've definitely found Ultra Balls, like a set of them, just in one of these spots before. Dome Fossil. Okay, yeah, and you also can find fossils here, which is weird. And there was somebody who told me that you could get a, there's a very small chance you can find a Master Ball here in the cave. And I have never found one, but that doesn't mean that that's not true. I'd rather keep my luck for finding shinies as opposed to finding Master Balls, but Master Balls are useful. Okay, I think I hit all the spots with item drops on it. So now I can go back. Wasn't an extremely fruitful visit, but getting fossils is always nice. It'd be cool to take the fossils to the Cinnabar Island and have one of them be shiny randomly when he gives it to you. That'd be sick. Because, oh my gosh, I cannot imagine shiny hunting for the fossils. That would be insane. Absolutely insane. I think that would be harder than shiny hunting for the legendary birds when they're not in their static form, like catching the ones that appear on the routes. I can only imagine that being a nightmare. Is there something in this bush? There is something in this bush. You know what, I talked about Clefairy and Geodude, so we'll take a trip through Mount Moon. Since I seem to just be finding random shinies today anyway. I've got enough lures that I can go through here and at very least pick up a Moonstone while I'm in here. Although I think I have plenty of Moonstones. since there's only, what, 4 Pokemon families that I can even use the Moonstones on. This isn't a bad room for having spawns come in, but the area that I typically use is back here. Hello, Clefairy. Fairy, 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 fairy. If anybody's ever played that that mini game from Pokemon Stadium, the memory one, then I'm sure that that little segment should sound familiar. But this is my favorite shiny hunting spot in this cave, is right here. You can wedge yourself right here, let stuff spawn around you, and pick and choose what you want to run into. And they can only really run into you by themselves by coming into this spot. Stuff spawns down there, it spawns up there. You never have to worry about stuff spawning over there where the other ladder is above us while we're up here. If stuff spawned up there, that would be obnoxious, because you'd never be able to catch anything that's over there. Yeah, the best place if you're just trying to flat out find a shiny, I agree 100%, is Viridian Forest. You can get so many things spawned in there at once. And you can chain something that's easy and never gonna move, like Caterpie or Weedle, to get your chances up for just flat out finding a shiny of one of those species. Yeah, I've definitely found the most shiny Pokemon of any area has been there. And my my box can certainly attest to that, because if we're just talking about Caterpie, I've got 6 shiny Caterpie, and 5 of them were caught inside the forest, and 1 of them was just in the route just outside of Viridian City. And that's just Caterpie. At least 1 or 2 of the Pidgeys that I've got in total came from Viridian Forest. One of my Rattata came from Viridian Forest at some point. I've also caught a shiny Weedle. I've caught shiny Kakuna and Beedrill there in the past. I've caught shiny Bulbasaur there before, and shiny Bellsprout. It's a very, very fertile place for shinies, I guess. That's the way I'd put it. We won't hang out here very long before we go back to different spot. But I was just curious to see if running through Mount Moon would be favorable. Things are spawning in nicely. It's just nothing I was looking for. All right. Hey Jazz, good afternoon, buddy. How you doing? To anybody unfamiliar with Jazz, Jazz is an awesome streamer who does a lot of different Nintendo games, and is also a fellow shiny hunter. He's working on his Squirtle right now. Or recently has been working on shiny hunting for a Squirtle, so be sure to give him a follow, check him out. He's always got some fun stuff going on his channel every day. Doing well, playing some Animal Crossing. Nice, nice. My my poor island has been abandoned for months. I'm sure it's all weeds, and all of my villagers have assumed that I've died. Oh, you're welcome, Jazz. Always happy to support your content, and make sure that anybody that hasn't had a chance to check out your channel gets that opportunity, because you do some cool stuff over there, buddy. Yeah, I walked past the ladder that I wanted, so I could grab that moonstone before I leave. I guess another shiny hunt that I ended up giving up on prematurely was the Nidoran one. Shiny Nidoran male that I was going for. That's another one I could go back for and that I'd need a moonstone for eventually. I think my villagers have pretty much rebelled, overthrown me and marooned me on a neighboring island. Yeah, you know, it's funny, I had a friend of mine that back when Animal Crossing on the Switch first came out, you know, everybody was playing it. It was very active, and had a bunch of friends playing. But anyway, one of my friends didn't like the villager that he had on his island, so I guess there's some kind of mechanic where if you keep chasing them around and keep hitting them with the bug catching net, they'll grow to dislike you and they'll try to leave the island. So he basically kicked off one of the villagers of his island by abusing him with the butterfly net. And eventually they showed up on my island and they were like, hey, you have a really nice island here, but I don't think I could stay. I can't risk the fact of your friend coming to visit the island and having to see him again. And I was like, whoa, this man really did his utmost to upset this person so bad that they left. It was crazy. He made them so upset they didn't even want to live on my island because they couldn't stand him that much and couldn't risk him visiting. It was the, I forget if she was a squirrel or a chipmunk. I can't remember her name. But for some reason, he didn't like having that villager on his island, so he did his utmost to get her to leave. Oh yeah, he's... No, if he's the type that where he wants something done, he's gonna get it done. He's gonna make it happen, so... And then I remember asking him why he was trying to kick him off the island, and I'm pretty sure he just said something like, I was tired of looking at them. And I was like, oh, okay. Well... I like Animal Crossing okay. It was, I think I only put about 40 hours into the new one that came out, though, and then I stopped playing it entirely. And then they do a bigger update, and I'd come back on to play for, like, not even a full in-game day, for, like, 20 minutes or so. Check out what the new update did, be a little underwhelmed, and just get off again. It can be a fun and relaxing game, and it's an interesting virtual sandbox / debt simulator, but I don't know, it's just not my kind of game as a whole, I guess. So I never really got back to it. It was definitely a wonderful experience to have in a world where we were facing the global pandemic, but you'll stick with Stardew Valley for my escapism game, yeah. I guess that's kind of what I use Minecraft for, still to this day, to some extent. Why did I go to the Pokemon Center and heal my Pokemon? They haven't battled in forever. What am I doing? It's such a habit. Oh, I'm in the town. I might as well heal before I leave. I'll never kick that habit. Oh, hi, Caterpie. No, Matt, I didn't end up getting the Magikarp. We had a shiny Staryu show up instead, so we caught that. And now I'm just going on a stroll, since apparently the game only wants to throw me random shinies instead of the ones that I'm chaining to increase the odds for. So I'm going on a stroll. We are heading back towards that spot outside of Pallet Town where we were hunting for it, but we're just taking the long way around to see if another random one spawns in for the heck of it. And earlier you were mentioning that the Verdian Forest is the best place to shiny hunt if you're just trying to flat out get a shiny. And I 100% agree, and my favorite spot in here is, I like this patch of grass specifically, but typically I use this corner because you can get stuff to spawn in here. On this patch you can get stuff to spawn up here in this section, and stuff to spawn in here, all three pretty regularly. So this just section, this corner of the forest is my favorite for shiny hunting. And I was thinking of, I mentioned this the other day, I was thinking of doing a category where, if the category doesn't already exist for speedrunning, which it very well might, to do a shiny percent run, where basically you start a fresh new file and you try to get to, well, my strategy would be get to Verdian Forest as fast as possible and grind out using lures and Pokeballs to see if you can't get a shiny as fast as you can. So, something I might do in the future. I'm interested in it. I'll have to look more into whether or not that already exists, or if something very, very similar to that concept already exists for this game. But I like shiny hunting enough that I'd be willing to give it a try without the odds of the shiny charm in your favor, and with the limited financial resources you have at the beginning of the game for Pokeballs and lures and whatnot. Okay, doesn't look like anything of interest wants to spawn in, but no problem. We'll go back down to the river. Easy, Pidgey. Easy, Pidgey. Yeah, and this is the patch of grass where I had one out of the probably 10 shiny Caterpie total that I've caught out of this game have spawned, and all the other 9 were in that forest, I'm pretty sure. I should have waited, but that's okay. Okay. So I think what we'll do is we'll put a pause on the shiny hunt for today. I mean, we've been successful as far as finding things. I'm very happy with both of the shinies that we ran into today, even though they weren't our target. Another shiny tentacle. And of course our shiny Staryu. Great addition to add to the 3 that we caught yesterday. And I think what we will do is, let me save, because I have not done that. And I think I'll switch over and run a little bit of Smash Ultimate for a bit. See if I can't get Ganon into what is it called? Elite Smash. Oops, I ran into a Pidgeotto. So, sorry, let me save again. I'm very paranoid about that. Save my progress. Alright. Alright, we're at 88.6 mil, so that's like probably 3 to 4 wins in a row. If we get 3 to 4 wins, we can break into Elite Smash. And then once we get Ganon into Elite Smash, we can retire him. Little Mac. Okay. This guy's a pretty coordinated Little Mac. You can tell he's done a lot of practice, but fortunately there's only so much Little Mac can do sometimes. He even has low tier as his name. I knew when I got locked into that next jab that it was over for me. If he had had enough time to counter after that, that would have hurt me a lot. There it is. Like I said, I don't think that guy was a bad Little Mac. I think he was pretty good, but poor Little Mac just has... I didn't even see what his points were, but poor Little Mac just has a hard time with so much. He's ready to go again. Alright. Again, I don't think that Little Mac is bad, so... should still be a good fight. I missed the down tilt. Wow, I fast fell. That's a problem. Oh, you're gonna teabag. Because you're so skilled. I don't ever understand why people do that. I'm very surprised that the rest of that move didn't actually connect with him. I felt like he would have been close enough. Okay. Well, that'll do it. It's a close fight. Much closer than the first match. Guess we'll go at it again. This man is ready to get some of those points back. He's itching to. Can tell. Ah, it's this map, huh? Okay. Okay, so he's just waiting outside of my reach for me to make a move and then following up on it like that. So I just have to do that to him. And I'm dead because for some reason that launched me all the way over there. I guess I had enough percent, but... Oh, he still had the KO punch. I don't think that's the move he wanted, but... Yeah, I don't know if that's just a combo that works and there's no way out of that once he started it, or if I'm supposed to be DIing differently, or doing something differently, but... It's doing a little bit too much to control, but that was not supposed to be a tilt Ganon, that was just supposed to be a jab, but... Okay, well that was a constructive use of my 127% stock anyway. I believe he might have tilted a little bit. Can really dodge faster than that though, that's terrifying. Well, there it is. Dodged that KO punch so hard. I know he's blown. I would be. I would be blown. We did it. We did it. We did it, that's it. Ganon is officially in Elite Smash. Oh. All the time and the grind. All the time and the grind was finally worth it. That all came through for us. Ah, it feels good to have him back in Elite Smash. It was so long ago that I had him in there and just let his numbers tank, but we're back. And now I can finally practice somebody else instead. Who am I going to do next? I was thinking about doing Pokemon Trainer. Shouldn't take me long as I win some matches. Mario was one that I tanked with after a while that I need to get back up there. So yeah, we'll be working on somebody else next time, but so many good things have happened today. We got a bunch of new followers. Thank you again to Distant String and King J and Kyle for the follows. I really appreciate it, and all the support. Everybody coming to hang out. But we got Ganon into Elite Smash. We got 2 new shinies, a Tentacool and a Staryu today. Today's been awfully productive. And I think what we'll do, I am done with Elite Smash for now.